welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you are new or aren't sure what that means, WIP stands for work in progress, so a project you're working on, and Chat just means that we are going to spend some time chatting and catching up and hanging out today. So I do these weekly WIP and Chats. They usually go up on Monday mornings, and it's just a chance for me to catch up with you all, work on a diamond painting, talk about life, all things crafty and YouTube, and it's something I genuinely look forward to every week. So I am here to kick off my first kit for Drills and Chills with you all, and the name of the kit, let me move my accessories. I'll be able to show you a little bit easier. But the name of my kit is Under My Umbrella. And it is this adorable black kitty cat under an umbrella. It's from Diamond Art Club and is one of Marilyn Casanoves's cute little critters. There's kind of the thumbnail down there if you're curious. But I thought it would be really fun to work on this one. I enjoy with Drills and Chills being able to work on not just kits that are like on the Halloween side of things, but also kits that are on the fall side of things. And I don't know, it's September. I'm not quite in the Halloween mood yet myself. So I thought, let me work on this cute fall one. It'll get me a little bit more into the seasonal spirit, and hopefully that'll be fun. So I still need to do some shopping, and I'm waiting on some sponsor event themed goodies to come in. I have been a little slow to get that shopping done this year, but I do still have some fun accessories to share with you today that I'll be using. First is this pen from Lace and Latheworks. I think I got this last year, and I think this is so much fun. I love the confetti in there. And then this tray was the Drills and Chills tray from Bijou Bliss last year. And I thought, oh, well, it's a black cat, so it's perfect. And this was the first shop that really did the magnetized things. And I think they do such a nice job with it, honestly. And I really like their trays a lot. So that's Bijou Bliss. And then I'm going to be using this Wee Wax in my single placer. I unboxed this in my recent small shop haul. And then I'm going to be trying out some putty from Becky's Crafty Chaos. This is a shop that just opened, and she had sent me some of her putty to test out. So I have a couple actually. I have one in the tin form and one in the Ziploc bag form. And I think I'm going to start with this one to try out today, and then maybe try out the tin one another time. And then I have this minder, which is also from Becky's Crafty Chaos. Now, I have a ton of black cat minders, but where my minders are is not super easily accessible, and I just am a little tired today, a little fatigued, and didn't want to dig all of that out. So a lot of this was kind of just grabbing stuff that was easy to snag. So, but I'll get to some of my other black cat minders hopefully later in the course of the event. Now, first what I need to do is go ahead and do a washi tape border. I did grab some matching washi for this kit. I'm going to lay the washi tape border down first, and then be able to section this off and get started. So feel free to work on a diamond painting alongside me if you like, or if you are doing some other kind of craft, or maybe switching over to your fall decor. I know for me, when I did more in the way of seasonal decor in my home, which I haven't been doing a ton of in, a few years, I kind of just lost my mojo for it. I used to do a lot, and I have a whole tote of fall decor specific stuff. And for me, Labor Day weekend was always the weekend when I would switch things over and start putting out my fall decor. So, I don't know, I'd imagine that some of you, I wonder if some of you are the same. So you can also treat this like a podcast. I know some people will just put this on while they're running errands or getting, stuff done around the house or something. So either way, I'm happy to spend some time with you. I will get this set up, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. If you'd like to actually watch me diamond painting, you should be able to. And yeah, so if you were curious, if you're a newbie diamond painter or you just haven't seen this kind of thing before, why I do a washi tape border is for two main reasons. One is for purely aesthetics. I think it's fun to have matching accessories, and that includes a cute little washi border. Even though I don't display my kits, it's still fun. But really the main practical reason is that there is a little bit of glue that goes past the edge of the drill field. You can actually see that line right there. And if you don't, there's no drills that are going to go in that kind of overspill area. But if you don't cover it up, it just attracts dust, dirt, cat hair, like the black cat that I have. At least technically a tuxedo, but it's just a magnet for lots of gunk and it doesn't look cute. So I just use the washi tape border for that practical aspect as well. So it also lets me use up some of my washi tape collection because I have a lot because it's just really pretty, but I don't use it on a lot of things. So this gives me a reason to. Anyway, that's our border. I think that is going to be a really, hopefully a nicely matching border, actually. Kind of an olive green. I had a number of different options I could have gone with, and that's the one I decided on. Now, as far as sectioning this off, I do like to section off my kits with washi tape. I have a video on that if you're interested. And it's because I just really like having even size sections to work on. And I will literally even measure it out. So this was 32.8 centimeters. And so just under 11 centimeters. I'm going to do this in, I think, 3x3 sections. So if we go right about here, let's say, yeah, that'll be perfect. And I have some non-coordinating washi tape I use to section it off. This is just like extra washi tape that I have that I know I'm not going to use for anything. This really skinny washi. I don't use it for anything. And no, it does not match the color scheme of this kit, but it sticks well and I have it and I need to use it up anyway. And so it's what I use for sectioning because it's not like once the piece is complete, I'm not going to see it anymore. So I don't care if it doesn't match. Okay, so that's that way. And then we'll go this way. Does anyone else, even if you live in the US, when it comes to diamond painting, has your mind also completely converted over to thinking about it in terms of centimeters? I don't know what it is. It's like if someone describes to me the size of a diamond painting or the size of a section that they work on in inches, it's like my brain just, like I lock up. I don't know what that means. Even though, of course, like I live in the US and we don't use the metric system normally. When it comes to diamond paintings, that's all that my brain understands. So that's why I'm like measuring this off even in centimeters. Honestly, I really think that we should just switch over to the metric system. It's so much more practical, but what do I know? So let me open up this section. We'll actually get started with diamond painting. And I'm guessing this kit's going to be a pretty quick little finish. Not that I'm looking to rush it, but it's only 33 by 33-ish centimeters. I just don't imagine it's going to be a super long-term project. Let me get my metal multi-placer. I use the thin metal tips from Diamond Art Club. The 12 placer is my favorite in terms of size, point, and they work really well for me. I like that they're really skinny. It's something about how it lets me see to place my diamonds more accurately that I really like it. Okay, this putty literally has glitter in it. So, isn't that so fun? Is it on both sides? It is. That's cute. Okay, so with this, I'm just going to try, it's a thick piece. It smells so good. This scent is black raspberry and vanilla. We'll see. This seems very soft, and part of that, I'm sure, is because it is summer. It is hot here. That's really soft. I saw someone post, I don't remember what group it was in. Someone posted a trick. It might have been Lindsay. Literally, it might have been my friend Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights. I don't know if it was she who had the idea or someone else, but that if your putty is really soft, that you could add cornstarch. I've not tried that, but I should. That would be really interesting. Then it gets dicey because then you're like messing with the shop's formula a little bit, but if it's too soft. Putty in general, I feel like this is something that is, if it works for you, is going to be dependent on a couple of different things. One, it's going to be dependent, I think, the most on your climate. If it's very warm or if it's humid, or if it's dry and very cold, those are the kinds of things that some putties are more... Oh, I didn't empty that. I didn't clean that out first. That's why this is not wanting to load properly. Good grief. I'm a little mush brain today. I'll tell you about more about that soon. What is in here that's like soft? What was loaded? Oh, you know what it you know what it is? Like, what is in here that is soft? What the heck? Okay, my mom had this pen for a little while. And then she decided she didn't necessarily like how it fit her hand as much, and so she gave it back to me, and this is the first time I've used this, and she gave it back to me, and I'm like, I don't use putty in my single placer, like what in the world? No, but my mom uses putty in her single placer. So okay, so putty, what's it going to be dependent on? Mostly, I think biggest factor is going to be your climate. And the second biggest factor is going to be what kind of diamond painter you are. Are you a hard presser? Are you a light presser? Do you like place at an angle? I don't know. There's so many different factors. And I feel like, nope, did that upside down. Hold on. Some of it is just really going to be trial and error to figure out, does this work for you or not? And I try to, whenever I'm working with putties and reviewing putties, to let you guys know, like, okay, this one appears to be a soft, oops, sorry, I just bumped that really badly. Okay, let me get that re-situated here. I try to let you guys know, like, okay, this is a softer putty, or this seems to be a firmer putty. And I'm going to work with this one. I'm going to try to give you those thoughts as I work with it. Where to put my drills? Okay, up here. I'm actually using the Cottage Mills dot box storage system. I use this occasionally. I just didn't have, I have some kits I need to kit down out of my Elizabeth Ward storage containers. And I haven't done that yet. So this was just the easiest thing to like grab and be able to rock and roll with. Okay, let me grab a color. Let's start with this nice little border color here, and we will get started. Oh, the static. So real. So hi. How are you doing today? I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. If you're in the States, I hope you're enjoying your long holiday weekend. I imagine some of you today are maybe doing like picnics or just having some family time in general. So I hope you're having a really nice day, whatever that's looking like for you. Today, we have not been doing a ton out of the house ourselves just because, well, for a variety of reasons. That ended up working out fine because today's been a busy day as far as it's the first day of Drills and Chills. And it has been a very, very full and exciting day in terms of that. But let me talk about this kit a little bit more first. So like I said earlier, I knew that I really wanted to start with something, if I had something in my stash that I was in the mood to work on, something that was more of a fall themed and not necessarily specifically Halloween themed. This tends to get very tricky for me because typically if I'm looking for something that's more strictly fall themed, more often than not, my options are going to be landscapes, and that just is not something that I gravitate towards working on almost as a rule. My very first Drills and Chills, when I was just a participant, and it was the first year I participated, and then the next year I was part of co-hosting it with one of the people that originated it. But that first year I participated in Drills and Chills. This was 2020. And I also participated in the Chuck-along, which I believe the Chuck-along, like they do it, is it twice a year? I think I saw, are they on their 10th one now? That's really cool that continues to run as well. But I thought, I'll work on a Chuck Pinson kit that fits the theme for both events. Because, I was like a lot of people when you first start diamond painting, and you think, I just want to participate in all the events. I want to do all the things. Some people stay that way, but I think most people end up going, I'm feeling burnout. I just want to work on the kits that I want to work on. And they end up scaling back a little bit and either being more selective about what events they participate in or just foregoing participating in events entirely. So if you're feeling that way, know that it's normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person for not necessarily wanting to participate in events. Sometimes you just, you got to do whatever you need to enjoy your crafting. But anyway, I'm getting way off track here. Keep tangent to tangent to tangent. So I thought, let me work on a Chuck Pinson kit that fits the theme of Drills and Chills too. So I worked on the kit Space for Reflection, and I was really excited. It was really my first landscape I was going to be working on, and I thought that the image was so serene and beautiful. And then I remember I started working on it and immediately felt like, this isn't very fun. There's a lot of grays. It's not like super exciting whenever I finish a section. Like it just isn't like bringing me the same kind of enjoyment and excitement that I usually feel. Or had been feeling up to that point, because I think I'd only been diamond painting for about 6 months at that point. So that was kind of my first realization of, I wonder if landscapes aren't for me. But so anyway, going back to when I try to look for kits to work on that are more fall themed and not Halloween necessarily, the vast majority, I feel like, of those kinds of kits are going to be landscapes, and that's not what I'm looking for. So I knew I had this one in my stash and that I thought could be a really good fit, especially because like it has a black cat in it that very much looks like, I mean, my tuxedo cat obviously has white in him, but I feel like black cats, you know, the little void cats still, they're like, it's the same concept. So, and I also, because I had been really feverishly working away on my cross stitch conversion project, had thought, okay, a smaller kit I think is overdue, because I think I need a break from really big confetti heavy kits. I did go ahead, and after I finished the Universe in a Jar, shortly after I finished my WIP and Chat with you guys last week, I did go ahead and grab my 7th of 8 panels for my big giant cross stitch conversion project and started on that. And I got a couple of days into it and realized it's happening. Like, I am starting to feel like hints of burnout on this project. I think that panel really started off pretty dull and pretty like muddy mess with the rendering, and I started to lose steam quickly, and I was like, okay, well, it's a good idea that I have a small round drill kit on deck to kick off drills and chills with, so I can go ahead and let's go ahead and put my cross stitch conversion to the side for the moment. Let's work on something different. I'm not gonna let myself get all the way to full-blown burnout. If there's anything I can do to help it. And I am definitely, as I'm working on this, just immediately feeling this sense of like, oh, this is just very relaxing. This is very chill. This is just very, very easy. I don't know. There's no mental effort involved. This color blocking is giving me life. The putty is working great so far, and the wax is too. It's not the first time I've used wheat wax, but it's working great too. And I don't know. I was worried that this putty was going to be too soft, but I'm not running into any issues for the moment. So yay for that. But yeah, so I'm excited about working on this kit. I just did something really weird with how I did those placements. That's okay. I am debating, well, I've been trying to sit down and really map out and plan, okay, what kits do I want to work on throughout Drills and Chills? And I absolutely want to be supporting a variety of shops. And so I'm looking at, okay, what kits do I have in my stash that would fit the theme that are from a variety of shops? The kicker is that I have gone through a lot of them in past years, and I still need to do some more shopping, but my shopping budget has been extremely limited the past few months, and I don't have a ton in my stash from small shops that fit the theme. I have a ton of Diamond Art Club kits that fit the theme, but I don't want to work on only Diamond Art Club kits for the event. I really want to have some variety in there. So I do have a kit that I picked up from Unimate on the way that she did a restock, and I was like, perfect, little snack size kit. And also actually happens to be a very fall themed kit without Halloween attached to it. So I'm really excited for that to come in. That may be what I actually work on next, because that should be coming in soon. And I think it would be nice if I could kind of alternate. It's like, even if I work on multiple Diamond Art Club kits, because that's what I have the majority of in my stash, I want to maybe at least try to alternate them with other stores. I think that might be a way to try to go about it. And I am also, like, even though I have a couple of Halloween kits from small shops, there's a couple that are just, they're very large, or event themed kits, not even necessarily Halloween. And I just go, I just don't know if I have a really large kit in me right now. Maybe next month, but I don't know. So I'm trying to plan accordingly. I'm trying to like balance as always sort of this, like, I want to be, using my channel to showcase a variety, because that's a really, like, supporting small shops and supporting a variety of shops with licensed artwork is a very, very strong value of mine. I want that to be evident in terms of what you actually see me working on. So I'm trying to balance both that as well as what do I personally feel like I can work on, and and enjoy it. And yeah, because I'm such a mood crafter, if I'm not connecting with the artwork or enjoying something about it significantly, then I just don't really want to do it so much. So I don't know. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with this kind of thing, but I hate when it sort of affects videos that I want to do, especially because I don't want to be just constantly talking about supporting small shops and working on a variety and stuff. And then turning around and you're not necessarily always seeing that in practice. So I'm trying, you guys. I promise. I'm trying. And yeah, so the Drills and Chills kickoff was today, September 1st, Sunday when I'm recording this. It's Sunday evening. My kids are in bed, and this is when I'm usually filming my WIP and Chats. And our kickoff videos went live very late last night. Lindsay and I were up late. We were kind of feverishly working, trying to get things together and make as many tweaks to things as possible to hopefully make things be really clear and help minimize like confusion and whatnot. I don't know how much we succeeded because it seemed like there were a lot of people that were confused today, and we were quickly we woke up and trying to quickly fix things so that it was more clear. But yeah, our Drills and Chills videos went live at 1 a.m. my time last night. The forms went live, and it's been a cascade since then, trying to drink from a fire hose kind of thing. But it's also, I just keep sitting back and going, okay, it's really cool though that so many people are excited about this event and this excited to participate. That is really, really cool. So it literally by the time the form had been up for less than 12 hours, by the time I woke up today, we had over 850 entries on the start forms. That's where what people would fill out if they knew they were just going to enter for weekly prizes, and or if they were wanting to post their start photo, which is required if they want to enter for the grand prizes. And there's a different form to submit your finished project photo. So yeah, we'll see. I'll be curious to see how many we get submitting completed projects. I think that's going to be really exciting to see. But I also will be interested to see, does it continue to feel like I'm glued to my computer trying to help with, answering emails and help troubleshoot things with people? Or I wonder if maybe it'll settle down just a little bit. It's every year we think of things that, okay, next year we'll do this differently because that should hopefully make things less confusing and streamline things for everyone, and also make it a little bit easier on us. Not that we want to make it about us, but some of it's just sheer hours in a day for us to be able to keep up, us being Lindsay and myself, and then our amazing mods for the group. And then whenever we try new things, though, we realize, that doesn't work because of X, Y, or Z. And so, okay, here's how we'll maybe try to improve that for next year. So it's ever a learning curve, but we are really trying to do our best. One of the things that has really came up this past week out of nowhere is so dark art and gore and stuff and horror art and that kind of thing has become more popular and available in the past couple year or two. And we've been trying to learn sort of as we go and realizing because we ran into it just a little bit last year where we were that seems a little much to have without at least behind some kind of, I don't know, filter or spoiler warning. And we know it's really subjective, what will bother one person they'll think is too creepy or too triggering or something like that, and others would be what's the problem? I don't get it. And so we've gotten some feelings from people, and some people making assumptions, and then also we missed responding to a couple of things in the group, and had some group members responding trying to be helpful but not being accurate as far as I think it was with regards to licensing or what people could post or something like that. And it kind of started to like, it was almost like a game of telephone. And then there was this like whole subset of people that were upset and thinking that we had like a vendetta against this genre of artwork or something. And I was like, I'm so confused. Like, what? No, we're just trying to put on this event. And if the artwork is licensed, like whatever that means, yes, that includes like if an artist is the one that created the artwork and is also the shop owner, like obviously that fits the spirit of the theme of licensed artwork, which is that the artist is given permission for the use of their artwork. That seems rather self-explanatory to me, but what do I know? And I don't know, it really threw me off because I thought, I don't understand like this sort of level of, like I don't understand where this came from, but, like, no, it's fine. We're just going to try to, as far as what's in the public, like, facing like the Facebook group that everyone has to scroll by and see, like there may be some things that we remove just because it feels like maybe that's too much, but that doesn't mean that you can't enter for the grand prize with it as long as it actually fits the theme and it's licensed. You are totally good to go. So, but I guess this is kind of what happens when you're trying to keep up with a group of 3,000 members and like lots and lots and lots of comments and stuff, you know. Some things slip through the cracks, and we're really only human, and I know that, yeah, I don't know. Drills and Chills always falls like around back to school, and like Lindsay and I both have young kids with special needs, and so the process of like getting them back to school is, I mean, back to school transition for any parents can be hard. Like there's trickiness to that transition. End of summer is really frenetic because you're trying to do all of the like, let's get all school supplies. Let's do all the fun like end of summer stuff. And then, okay, we're actually going back to school. What does this new routine look like? Kids are having difficulty with transitions and all the new things. But like on top of that, it's like, yeah, no, scale up and be totally 100% into kick off this like giant diamond painting event. It's just how the timing goes because Drills and Chills is always going to start on September 1st, at least for right now. I'm not saying that could never change in the future, but I don't know why it would. But yeah, I mean, I'm just always assuming the best of intentions from everyone, and I super appreciate when other people do the same too. But yeah, so all that to say, like, there have definitely been things that, like, we have missed or, like, straight up miscommunicated on or needed to, like, change our minds on because we, you know, sit and think about it and go, okay, this actually is what makes more sense or based on feedback. Let's do this. But I don't know. Really, the group, the Drills and Chills Facebook group has been wonderful. Everyone just seems so genuinely excited to be kicking off this event and getting into all of their like Halloween and fall themed things. And that is thankfully something that I can more easily focus on and be really, really excited about. So yay, Drills and Chills. Oh, what else? This week, what's been going on? It has been a week of ups and downs for me in terms of productivity. There's been a lot that has happened, just sort of, not just in terms of diamond painting, like with Drills and Chills, but also personal life stuff too. I mentioned the kids went back to school. That actually, they only have 3 days of school their first week. It did open up a lot for me in terms of what I was able to do. Just with my kids' particular special needs, like I just don't get a lot done. And this, I don't think this just goes with special needs parenting. I don't want anyone to like misread what I'm trying to say at all. But with parenting, and at least with, I just dropped that. Please tell me that didn't pop open. I just dropped a container of drills. Where'd it go? Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Good news. It did not pop open. All's well. Okay, so parenting is hard, and no matter whether your kids are neurodivergent or not, they may or may not let you get more things done during the day, or it might just be more about playing with them, doing things with them, keeping them out of trouble in some instances. So for me, it's definitely all of the above. Micah in particular, my youngest, has just been like really high on like the sensory seeking scale right at the moment, and I feel like just generally needed more to do. He's like really itching to get out of the house pretty regularly. So them going back to school and not only getting like these support services and getting to hang out with their friends, getting to learn and whatnot, that is good for them, but it also is good for me because it gives me some time to get various things done, whether it's related to like diamond painting and YouTube, or just like now I can go grocery shop. And it's just that much more, it's that simpler. So definitely the upside of them going back to school is that kind of thing. And so I feel like I got a little bit more done this week. It opened up our days a lot. And then we went into, they had Friday off and then they have Monday off. This is how our school district always seems to do it, is like we start the week before Labor Day and it's a short week. It's just a 3-day week. And the day after Labor Day is a short week because they have Monday off. So it's a 4-day week. And so they haven't had a full week of school until the third week of school is their first full week. It's like they're really, really being eased into it. And so we've, just been enjoying this long Labor Day weekend. But I had a few different things I was able to be productive with. So I did meet with my doctor finally to get to talk about, do I want to change my meds? And I really, really love my doctor a lot. She's very validating, and I feel like she just sort of understands what my goals are and everything. I know it can be really hard to find a doctor that you feel that way about. And so sending you lots of encouragement if you are looking for one yourself. But she did say like, okay, let's go ahead and try like weaning off of the one you're on. And she's like, but otherwise I'm a little bit at a loss for what to do next. And she's like, I think that it really is best to get you connected with a psychiatrist again. And I said, I was like, I was seeing one, but they just weren't taking our marketplace insurance that we've had the past couple months. And so I couldn't go to her for that. And I just kind of thought I really want to try to get something figured out now. And then I can, just to start with, I guess, a starting point. And then I can try to connect with a psychiatrist, which will hopefully be doable now, because another thing I was able to do this past week was I was able to finally go in person. There had been a lot of back and forth with our, just some of the logistics and some of the timelines of things was kind of tricky, kind of awkward as far as some of the things we were applying for assistance programs. And so I finally ended up going into the social services office this past week. I was there for like 4 hours. And I kind of knew this was probably what was going to happen. So I'd already told Adam, like, okay, I'm going in, like I have all of our paperwork actually ready to go. And I was like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but just plan on, you might have to pick up the kids from school if this takes a while. And it did, but I'm so relieved. We came out of that with very good news, very, very good news. Our situation was complicated for a variety of reasons I won't go into, for, just obvious, I think, privacy kinds of reasons. I don't know, some of you may feel like me sharing even this much is like, okay, Katie oversharing, but just this is the kind of thing that I feel like I've been kind of checking in about and sharing a little bit on over the past couple of months. I thought, well, I'll share a little update, and just, we got good news. It's going to be just a huge, huge, huge relief. We're set with insurance now, which is a huge relief. And so hopefully, I'll be able to, like, as soon as we actually get all of that, like, in the mail, like, it's effective now, but I don't have, like, the numbers and all the details and stuff, then hopefully I can connect directly with a psychiatrist that takes it, and hopefully that I feel like is a good fit and can figure out, like, okay, what should we do as far as, medication for my depression and anxiety? What does this look like, especially with sort of the phase of life I'm in right now? What is going to be the most helpful thing? And I hope this also means I will be able to get back into therapy, but I need, like, talk therapy, but I need to find out exactly what the details of this insurance look like. But thank you for all of you that have been sending positive thoughts and vibes our way for that. When I called my mom after I was done there, just to let her know, like, okay, like, we got approved for these things. And I hadn't really like told her that morning that I was going in. And she was like, that's so funny you said that, because she said a few hours ago, I just suddenly had this really strong urge to pray for you about this specific thing. And I was like, well, oh, thank you. Like, I'm glad that sometimes works out that way. And yep, that timing seems rather good. So, yeah. So thank you to you guys too. Just, I appreciate the support more than I can really express. So, we are hoping that, sooner rather than later, Adam will have something new, but job market is what it is. And for tech, that's pretty darn rough right now. So, we're doing everything we can and taking it one day at a time. And that's all you can do sometimes. And, so yeah, there's been some like really productive things that have been happening. That particular thing, like getting in there and figuring out what's going on with these programs as far as were we going to be approved or not, that was taking up just an immense amount of emotional and mental energy for me. And it's like, okay, this is taken care of. Now there are other things I can move my energy and my spoons to. So, I also have been dealing with some more headaches the past couple weeks. And as much as I sit here trying to figure out, like, what could the triggers be? Part of me just keeps reminding myself, like, it's the stress, honey. Like, it's all the stuff that's going on in life right now is probably exactly what it is. So, stress can be a legit trigger for migraines and headaches. But just trying to take care of myself and do the best I can to keep myself healthy and avoid any like additional triggers that might make it worse. I think also maybe it's just like kind of the heat and summer, maybe something with that, but I don't know. I appreciate some of you mentioned, and actually my mom did too after she listened to my WIP and Chat last week. She was like, it might be the artificial food coloring or artificial flavors in your multivitamin gummies. And then someone else, I don't remember if it was one of you guys or if it was on a Reddit thread I ended up on, said the specific brand of gummy vitamins that give them migraines, like the Vitafusion. And I was like, that is literally the exact brand that I bought. So that and/or the iron, I don't know. Unfortunately, the surgery that I was supposed to have this month to take care of the reason why I am so anemic, I don't think we're going to have everything squared away with our insurance in time for that to, like, I just don't imagine all the authorizations and everything are going to be in place in time for that. So unfortunately, that's probably going to get bumped. And I think the earliest that it would be bumped to would probably be November. But I need to call my doctor's office when they open Tuesday morning and just be like, okay, so here's what I have. What I think we probably are gonna have to cancel and reschedule. So what availability do you have? Okay. But again, this is okay. We're getting other stuff done that lets me get to having, this is the next step in kind of making this sort of thing happen. So I'm still considering it progress and productivity. So yay for that. And then, sorry, I'm trying to adjust this here. As far as other things going on, I cannot remember if I mentioned this last week, but did you guys, I think I did. It might have been in my Patreon blog, but I can't remember. About pumpkin launching at Starbucks. Has anyone gone and gotten your first pumpkin drink of the season? Or are you waiting until like September 1st to go? I've had one pumpkin cream cold brew. It was delicious. I went and got it on the drop day of all the pumpkin stuff. And then it's so funny. So Starbucks sent out this email like sometime last week that was like, if you use the Starbucks app, it'll send you like this email that's like, okay, here's how you ranked in terms of like the pumpkin things that you've bought compared to other people that have the Starbucks app and use it. And for mine, it said that I was in the top like less than 1%. And I was like, I don't last year I wasn't getting that many pumpkin cream cold brews. Like I would just as often instead get the vanilla cream cold brew, which is my favorite year-round drink. And then I look and it's like your top pumpkin drink. And then it said the pumpkin loaf even under the drink. And I was like, oh, they're taking food into account. And I realized they're not only doing that, they must have taken it into account your year-round purchases. And the pumpkin loaf at Starbucks is my youngest, Micah's, top favorite thing. If we were going to Starbucks, I was getting him a pumpkin loaf. And so I don't know how many of those I bought over the course of a year, but I realized, oh, that's why I'm in the top. Like it was like 0.7%. And I thought I didn't really, truly, legitimately earn that because it wasn't pumpkin drinks that I was buying. It was the pumpkin loaves that I bought for my youngest child throughout the year. Because that is available year-round. That's not just a fall thing, in case you didn't know. The pumpkin loaf is year-round. But yeah, so pumpkin at Starbucks. Other thing is about just like updates with the kiddos and back to school. So I was nervous. I'm sure I expressed as much last week just about, are they going to like their teachers? How are they going to, how's it going to go? And we did have Micah's meet and greet. We got to go into his classroom last Monday, shortly after my WIP and Chat went up for that day. And he loved his teacher. There was at least one of the aides that was in there that recognized him. That I don't know if she transferred over from the kindergarten special ed class maybe to like his new special ed class. But there are one or two aides that immediately recognized him. I think there's 4 aides total in there. It's like a 2-to-1-ish ratio. And then Micah just immediately, like he got to go check out his desk because in kinder they didn't do like dedicated desks. It was more like, what do they call them? Shoot, I'm blanking on the name. Not stations, but like, there were like round tables that kids would go to. I guess stations might be the right word. And then they had cubbies, but then this year for first grade, they have actual desks. And so Micah was excited to find his that had his name on it and was kind of exploring the room and reading everything. And his teacher just seems so sweet. Yeah, I was really, really happy, like just from the get-go getting to talk to her and just like checking in with her at the end of each day. And she's given me a little update on Micah. It's been really, really good. And I'm really optimistic for the school year for his teacher. And then Connor, I was so happy when we found out, because we found out late Monday, who Connor's teacher was going to be. I immediately texted one of my friends who has a kiddo who's Connor's age, and they were in the same class together last year. And I was like, who did, your kiddo's name get? And she was like, the same teacher. And she's like, I'm so excited. She's supposed to be amazing. And I think it's going to be a great year. So I was really happy to hear that. But then I still like, well, I don't know what Connor's impression is going to be. And so he came home from school, the first day of school. And I was, asking, I was like, okay, buddy, like how did it go? Like, what do you think of your teacher? Like, how did everything go? And he was like, it was a really fun day. And he's like, I like my teacher a lot. She's really nice. And my heart just melted. And I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Like a teacher he feels like is nice, because last year, his teacher was a little more, I don't know if aloof is the right word. Like she was good, but she was, I guess, maybe a little less, I don't know. There weren't any warm fuzzies, I guess. And so I think it seems like Connor kind of connected a little bit more with this teacher, at least, first impressions. And he's come home happy after each day of school. And he's really excited because his bestie from last year, we didn't know if she was going to be in this class with him again this year because it's random and you can't do requests or anything. And I asked her, I was like, so did you see so-and-so at all today? And he's like, yeah, she's in my class. And I was like, oh, yay. So they're really sweet. They're the ones that I had meant to, I just kept missing the mom at like pickup, I'd meant to exchange phone numbers with her so we could get the kids together over the summer to play. It didn't happen. I'm going to try to make sure I catch her sometime this year and see if, she wants to exchange contact info. So yeah, it was, even the first day of school drop off really felt night and day to me from last year. Last year was our first year with both the kids at this school. It was the first year that Connor was in a gen ed class instead of a dedicated special ed class. And there was a lot that was new to us. And I just remember the first day of school last year being a little rough. I almost want to go back and like watch my WIP and Chat or my Patreon vlog from then to see kind of how I talked about it. But I just remember like drop off, Connor being like really confused about like where to go. And Micah not wanting to say goodbye to us like at the gate. And it was a lot, I remember. And trying to handle like both kiddos, and we're not sure exactly where we're going. And I don't know. I just remember last year it felt more emotional. I think I came home after that and cried because I just was like, I just feel like that was rough. I'm afraid the kids are going to have a really rough first day of school and they're going to be like sad and upset. And they were fine. They really were. But it was nice that this year went so much more smoothly all around. I think it helps that this school was not new to us this year. Both boys were like, okay, yeah, we're going back to school. This is our back to normal. And also like we knew the campus, and I had done a little bit more sort of like research ahead of time to make sure I had a sense for, okay, this is exactly like where we walked to with Connor, and everything. So yeah, I'm hoping that this really does mean wonderful, wonderful things for them and their school year this year. And if you either like work in a school in some capacity, or if you're a parent and have kids that went back to school, I am sending all of the positive thoughts and prayers and vibes your way for a wonderful school year for you and your loved ones too. So I hope it's a great year. As far as like kind of other updates, we are a little bit under the weather. Kids definitely, Connor in particular, definitely brought home something from school. I don't think it is what, but I think it's also still too early to actually test. It's definitely some kind of cold, respiratory something, but Connor's mostly complaining about his throat hurting and having a little bit of a runny nose. And I'm like, throat hurting is usually not, it can be, because it can just be part of like the runny nose, but we'll see. I might test him tomorrow, like before deciding whether or not we're going to send him on Tuesday. I'm like, man, obviously I'm not going to send my kid to school sick like obviously some parent did and spread germs, but it would be kind of a bummer if literally the second week of school he's missing school. But if that's what we have to do, of course that's what we're going to do. I know there's a lot going around right now, and so anything we can do for our part to minimize the spread, we're going to do our part. And I'm feeling it, unfortunately. Like, I've been so tired today. I think part of that was because I was up late, for one, doing, just trying to get everything as situated as I could with the event kickoff before I went to sleep. And then waking up to, I woke up a little bit early to give, Connor some medicine because he was feeling kind of bothered. And not super great. So I woke up to give him some medicine. I checked my phone and realized that I had like 30 emails from people that were having trouble with the form, a bunch of messages from like the mod group, and like a million tags in the Facebook group. So I was like, okay, well, if there's a bunch of people having issues with the form, or there's general confusion, like I am not going back to sleep. Like I'm staying up to fix this. So I didn't get a ton of sleep last night. And I'm just feeling a little bit run down today in general. I think just because I think I'm fighting off something or in the process of coming down with whatever Connor had. So we'll see if this turns into me actually getting sick. I debated, quite honestly, I was very close to not filming a WIP and Chat this week and just taking the week off and just sort of rolling the dice with the platforms. I almost like don't want to say the word because I swear that like whenever I talk about this, it like my videos don't do as well. Like it's the bots or whatever are picking it up. But like the system that starts with owl and ends with gore and idem, if I don't post a video on a day that I always post a video of a particular topic, there have been times in the past where I have noticed that that has had a direct impact on just sort of future like views and things. And I can't like exactly pinpoint how to describe what and why that is. I just know that I've noticed it enough times that I'm very reluctant to not do a whip and chat. At the same time, I also know how important it is to take care of my physical health. But I thought, I haven't diamond painted at all today, not one single bit. Let me just try setting up my kit and grabbing some nearby, like easy to grab coordinating accessories. And then let me just see how I feel. And then I thought, let me just grab my like notebook and see if I jot down any notes that are things I feel like I do want to come on and talk about. And once I did that, I thought, okay, yeah, no, I can go ahead and do a whip and chat. But I am still really going to try to get plenty of rest and drink lots of water and do what I can to hopefully stay healthy and not fatigued. I encourage you guys to do the same, practicing that self-care as much as you're able. And yeah, so as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, reading-wise, I feel like as soon as I found out that the From Blood and Ash series was not complete, I lost so much momentum because I was like, well, like, this series isn't complete. I know I'm not going to get closure at the end. Most likely there's probably going to be some kind of cliffhanger. And so I have not... Where'd that come from? I have not finished the 4th book yet. I was still in the middle of it last week, and I haven't finished it yet. I think it's The War of Two Queens is the name of it. But I still need to do that. I still need to... I think I have till the 13th before my Audible membership renews. And I am making it a serious goal. I want to use up the credits that I have and cancel that. I can't cancel it until I use those credits. Otherwise, I will lose them. And I have like a backlog of 5 credits, and I need to use them up. So... gonna make that a serious goal. And then watching, I haven't been watching our shows in the evenings as much lately. We never ended up finishing Picard, which is kind of crazy to me because we started that so long ago, got like halfway through it, and then just we've both been so busy in the evenings that we haven't gotten back to it. I would like to sooner rather than later, and get through the whole season that's up. We were watching, I think, season 3. But I was entertained by you guys last week when I was talking about Happy Feet, and many of you being like, wait, I don't remember that being a thing. And then some of you being like, oh yeah, no, it's really not. And thankfully today is September 1st, which means that it is no longer available on the particular streaming platform that Micah kept pulling it up on. But he did, and we just were like, it really is okay. We're not gonna fight this particular battle. Like, it's okay. Trust me, we will fight battles on things sometimes when we feel like we need to. But this one, we were like, it'll be okay. We always tried to redirect him, but it wasn't. I don't know. And it really is like some of the lyrics for some of these songs. It's like, oh my gosh. But then again, I have this really funny memory of when I was growing up. And I was a child of the 90s or whatever, and had the Spice Girls album on cassette tape. Yes, like that was the time. And I remember my mom, my parents, like, hearing me listen to it. And there's a song on that album. This is, like, I think their original, like their debut, I think it was their debut album or whatever. The song is called To Become One. And as a child, I had no idea like what that meant. And I would just I was singing without knowing what the words meant. I think a lot of kids honestly do this. They're like, oh, I'm just here for the vibes. But I remember my mom hearing that and being like, you can't listen to that song. And of course, as a kid, I'm like, why? What's the problem? I don't understand. My mom was a labor and delivery nurse and then like a neonatal nurse practitioner. And so like the whole birds and the bees talk was not like a big deal. And there was not like, there wasn't like a lot of trying to think of how to put it. Like, we talked about that kind of thing and it wasn't a big deal. And so she explained it to me. I was like, that's weird. That doesn't make sense. But okay. And that just, this whole situation with Happy Feet and some of the music that was in that movie, I'm like, oh, this is like, you know, my kids are oblivious just the way that I was with that Spice Girls cassette tape when I was whatever age that I was. I was like, look, we all came to this album to listen to the same song anyway, so the other stuff was just bonus material as a kid. Anyway, fun childhood story and tangent for the day, and we finished that section, which is perfect timing because I'm going to be wrapping up this WIP and Chat, the third part of reading, watching, listening to. So listening to, I've still been on this video essays kick, and I was talking to Adam the other day about how I'm not a true crime girly. Like, if there's like people that are being unalived or something, like, no, I can't handle it. I was like, it's more, I enjoy sort of YouTuber drama and stuff that I know at least has, like, there's justice or there's a happy ending of some kind. So, like, I went down a little bit of the rabbit hole with, like, Ruby Frankie and, like, the 8 Passengers debacle, and it's, like, horrifying, but, like, at least I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad the kids are okay. Well, I mean, like, now they're safe. But yeah, so I've been watching various video essays and commentaries on that. And then who was I watching? What was it? Cruel World Happy Mind or something was the name of the channel. And she had a series on Rachel Hollis, and I'd forgotten about Rachel Hollis. She was this, like, motivational speaker and author that was really, really big back in, like, the girl boss era, like the mid to late 2010s. And I remembered going to MOPS, which is like Mothers of Preschoolers. It's like a Christian organization for, like, moms of, like, babies. It was, like, instrumental in helping me get through, like, the infant and newborn and toddler days with both my kids. But I remember going to that, and there were so many people there that would talk about how much they loved this book, Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. And I never did end up reading it, but like, her name was such a household name for, like, the phase of life I was in and some of the demographics I was spending time with. And then, like, watching some videos recently about, like, how, like, she kind of went off the rails, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm glad I didn't necessarily get into that book when it was really hot, but I don't know, you guys. Some of this stuff is really interesting, but I don't know if that really all is considered necessarily true crime, but it's, like, I feel like adjacent anyway. But as far as what I got coming this week for you guys video wise, so I need to do my month in review video. You'll see that in the next day or two. You'll see drills and chills event videos from me every single week now, planned to go up on Saturdays, may occasionally get bumped to Sundays if life happens, but Lindsay and I will each have a drills and chills weekly video on each of our channels. We'll each be giving away, like, 5 or 6 different prizes in our videos. That's going to be 10 to 12 prizes every single week for 8 weeks, in addition to our big grand prize packs. So I need to figure out what kinds of videos I do want to do. Excuse me for yawning. So you'll have that, and then I have just kind of a backlog of packages for unboxings and reviews and stuff. So you'll see a mix of that kind of stuff filling in the gaps. I various, like, Diamond Art Club, like, late sneak peeks or stuff to come. We'll just see when it arrives, and it might be late. There might be something that's on time in the coming weeks. I don't know. I'm just, whatever the mail does is what it does. Whatever the warehouse does is what it does. And you guys will see various Diamond Art Club sneak peeks or first looks randomly, possibly this week, possibly not till next week. We'll see what happens. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, how about a fall leaves emoji? Because we got some fall leaves diamond painted here. The first section on my first Drills and Chills kit. That was cute. That was fast. I bet I could knock out this kit in a couple of days. I don't want to rush, but I'm glad that I have something that's very low key and, like, low stakes to work on here at the beginning of the event where things are a little nutty. As far as the putty, I really, you know what? I was nervous because I thought, oh, this is really soft. I didn't have any real issues. You guys saw me diamond paint with it, multi-placed like a dream. So I'll be curious to try out the tin too to see if it's any different. But for a soft putty, that did amazing, quite honestly. So I'll have everything linked below if you're interested to check out any of these shops. But that's it. I'll let you go. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you were working on while we were chatting, or just how you're doing in general. Are you joining us for all the drills and chills fun? And subscribe if you want to see more diamond painting videos from me. I'd love to have you here. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I hope you have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.